Genealogists everywhere are celebrating this month as the 1950 census has been released. A U.S. federal census is conducted every 10 years to determine the population of the country and to allocate the number of U.S. House of Representatives allotted to each state. Since the goal of the census is to record the names and general information of everyone living in the United States, this is a very valuable tool for family historians to track and learn about their ancestors. The 1950 census enumeration began on April 1, 1950, and the details have been kept private by law for 72 years. As of April 1st, however, genealogists around the country are able to access these records and find out more about the lives of their family in 1950. This census asked many of the usual questions found in most census records: name, age, race, employment status, but there are some unique aspects to this census as well. It was the first census to record Americans living abroad in foreign countries. It made a special effort to record babies, which were undercounted annually. It set aside dedicated dates to record folks who were on the move, such as those staying at hotels, campgrounds, and in charity housing. It utilized self-enumeration forms for the first time, testing the process in select Michigan and Ohio counties. College students were enumerated at their schools, rather than at their parents' homes. Also, Indian reservation schedules were used to record American Indian and Alaska Native populations. So what does this look like? 6.57 million pages of population schedules, 9,634 census enumeration district maps, and 33,360 Indian reservation schedules. Now that we know a bit more about the 1950 census, let's talk about how you can access it. The National Archives houses the original paper census documents and has digitized them, making them available on their own website. They have also provided digital copies to other genealogy companies such as Ancestry.com and Family Search. All of these organizations are creating name and place indexes using OCR, or optical character recognition. That is, a computer is transcribing the names. From there, each organization will be working to correct and improve the index using volunteers. The National Archives website went live on April 1st at midnight, and their computer-generated index went live with it. The other websites will begin by posting the images first, and will then add an index as fast as their computers and their volunteers can do so. Now, in the time between when I'm recording this video and when you will be viewing it, there will likely already be great strides in what each website has to offer. I do currently recommend starting with National Archives' free 1950 census, but make sure to check out the other options as well. So let's take a look at what's available at the time of this recording. Here's how you can explore the 1950 census on the National Archives website. Begin your search at 1950census.archives.gov. Let's click Begin Search to get started. You can see the variable search filters available to you on the left. You can search by location, including the state and the county or the city. You can search by name, typing in the first or last name. Search by enumeration district if you know it, or Indian reservation schedule. I recommend starting with a basic search just to get you started. I'm going to search for my grandparents. They were in Georgia. They might have been in any number of counties, DeKalb or Fulton, possibly in Atlanta, which span both counties, so I'm not going to put a county down. I'm going to search by name. Luckily, we have somewhat of a unique last name. And it looks like we've been successful. That looks like my grandfather. He is in Atlanta, Fulton County. They are in Georgia, and you have the enumeration district number right there. So let's bypass the image for just a second to look at the list of names that have been transcribed by the computer. So here is what looks to be my grandfather. He's on line number 6. Let's see, the next line that the computer recognized was line 9. So any other family members that might have been in his household weren't recorded. Now before him, I see another name that I recognize. My grandfather's sister, my great aunt Pansy. The computer got the name a little bit wrong, but that looks like them. Now notice, Pansy doesn't have a last name, neither does Bobby Jr., only Bobby Sr. The first person in the household has a surname transcribed, so that could make your search a little bit tricky. It might be advisable to search for the husband, or if the husband is deceased, the wife, whoever might be the head of the household, because that's the person most likely to have a full name transcribed. So let's take a look at the image just to verify. Yep, so here is my grandfather, my grandmother, and their son. Above them, my great aunt and her family. So we can see a variety of different aspects to their lives. We have the street that they lived on, their address, some information about the home that they lived in. We have their race, their gender, their age, their marriage status, where they were born. Continuing over, we can see if they were working or if they were perhaps a housewife. And then we can see their occupation and their industry. I also want to draw attention to some information at the top of the page. At the top left, we have the location information that we saw typed up on the screen above, the state, the county, the city, the enumeration district. And over on the right-hand side, we have information about when the census was recorded and by whom. And we also have the sheet number. So this is interesting. They're on page 72. Page 71 and onward were pages specifically set aside to record individuals who were missed on the first go-round. So you might see that a particular census enumeration district, which is the path that one individual census taker was assigned to, you might see that this enumeration district starts at page 1 and ends at page 25, and then all of a sudden they jump to page 71. That's because these are the folks that were missed the first go-round. Similarly, if you look up someone based on their address and you see that they were recorded as not home that day, you've got a second chance to find them deeper into the census enumeration district. So this is how you can do a name search on the National Archives 1950 Census website. All right, now what if you have no luck in turning up a name? Well, you want to search a census enumeration district. Let me show you how that will work. This is the Steve Morse Unified Census ED Finder. This website is a great resource to locate enumeration districts when you know the address or general area of where someone lives, but you can't find them in an index. There are a bunch of different ways to use this website. You could start by searching for an exact address. So for example, my grandparents that we just located, we know exactly what street they're on, and so we could type that in. We're still left with a number of enumeration districts that it could be. We could add in a cross street if we're not sure where exactly. There's a handy link to go to Google right here. It takes us to the street. We're going to add the address, and we can see what streets are in and around it. Now in this example, there's a lot of buildup from the interstates that weren't there at the time, but we can see Hood Street, Duwald Alley, and so we could come in here and let's add in Hood, and that narrows it down just to 2. So now that we have just those 2, we can go back and just search the National Archives website in those enumeration districts, and we will look at that. But real quick before we do that, what if you don't know their address? What if they maybe live in a rural area? You can search for Elbert County, that's rural. I have a lot of folks out there. You can look at the maps. We'll go again, Elbert County, get the enumeration district maps, and we can narrow it down so I know that my family was living up in the very far north county, so we're going to go with enumeration district 5224. And so you have your enumeration districts for your various family members. You can take those back over to the National Archives website and insert those. Okay, so back at the National Archives website, we just want to search for an enumeration district because we can't find our ancestor in the index. So we had enumeration district 5224. And then we can also tell it Georgia. So we can see this is Elbert County. There's 27 pages. That's not bad. We can also verify the Enumeration District map here. We can see again the same image from the other National Archives, 5224. And we can click here to see the population schedules. Now note at the bottom we have the thumbnails of the pages. We do not have any individual names listed. So we can start by scrolling through, zoom in a little bit, and just start scanning for your ancestors' names. And this could take a minute, but hopefully, if you have a small enough area, you'll be able to locate your ancestors fairly well. So here are my great-great-grandparents. Right there. Found them. Once you've located your family, you'll want to make sure that you download a copy of the record. You'll also might consider transcribing the names on a particular census page to help others find them as well. It's really simple. Just click Help Us Transcribe. You'll put your email address in and receive a confirmation code in your email. But then all you have to do is say which line that you'd like to transcribe. So let's just go with line 1. We can drag this guy over here to the side so we can see better. Add a transcription. Last name. First name. Middle name. Enter. Submit. And if we want, we can pick another line or we can just continue on. I hope that this program has provided helpful information on how to research your family in the 1950 census. Things will be evolving quickly, so make sure that you're checking out all the available websites and keeping up to date with the new technology available. Thanks for joining me and exploring the 1950 census release. Happy hunting!